It started with a joke, the kind of harmless, playful quip shared between two people who've seen the best and worst of each other. The kind of joke you make when your body's tired, your brain's overloaded, and you're just trying to feel normal again. But that one joke, 8 simple words, cut deeper than either of them expected. With a week to myself, that's what she said. And suddenly, the room got quiet. This is the story of a woman stretched to her breaking point, a husband stuck in a body that wouldn't cooperate, and the fragile line between intimacy and resentment. So let me take you back. She's 31, a wife, a mother, an employee in a job that just got a whole lot harder after 6 people walked out. The kind of job that doesn't stop piling on the pressure just because your life falls apart. And lately, her life has been unraveling. The day before Memorial Day, her husband, 32, normally strong and independent, broke his ankle. It was serious. He needed surgery, and just like that, everything shifted. Suddenly, she wasn't just a wife. She wasn't just a mother. She became the caregiver, the nurse, the chauffeur, the cook, the housekeeper, the emotional rock, and still, somehow, the full-time employee. She drove the kids to school, picked them up, made every meal, did every load of laundry, handled every dish, mowed the lawn, scheduled and attended every one of her husband's appointments. And all the while, she kept working 40-hour weeks in a job that demanded more than ever. She never complained. She didn't have time to. She was in survival mode. Her husband couldn't walk. He was on crutches, depending on her for everything. And while he recovered, she buried herself in routine. No time for rest, no space for anger, no room for herself. Until one night, the kids were finally asleep. The house was quiet. And for the first time in what felt like forever, they decided to sit down together and watch a movie. Something simple, something human. They each grabbed a bowl of ice cream and sat side by side on the couch, maybe even pretending, just for a moment, that things were normal again. She finished her ice cream first and said with a tired grin, "I want something salty." He smiled and said, "Get me some chips too?" She stood up with a lighthearted groan and replied, "I guess I can do that." Then with a playful look in his eyes, he raised his eyebrow and asked, "However will I repay you?" That's when she smiled, eyes twinkling with sarcasm, and said it. "With a week to myself." He laughed. She laughed. And she walked to the kitchen to grab the chips. But by the time she came back, something had changed. He wasn't smiling anymore. He looked at her, eyes hard now, voice cool, and asked, "Should I go upstairs so you can start your week to yourself?" Just like that, the laughter was gone. The connection snapped. She didn't argue. She didn't fight. She didn't have it in her. She walked back to the kitchen, put her chips away, and headed upstairs. She wasn't angry. She wasn't even sad. She was defeated. Moments later, he followed. Maybe he felt guilty. Maybe he just wanted to understand. Maybe he didn't like the silence any more than she did. He stood in the doorway and said, "I'm sorry. I'm not doing okay." She didn't answer. He asked, "Are you not going to acknowledge me?" She turned toward him, said nothing, just stared. Then he continued, "I'm sorry. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And I know you're stressed and need time to yourself too." She turned back over. "It doesn't matter," she said. But of course it did. Everything mattered. The joke wasn't just a joke. It was a pressure valve releasing. It was exhaustion with a smile. It was the cry for help no one ever heard. But now, it felt like a betrayal. Like her weariness had become an offense. Like wanting space made her the villain. She wasn't trying to hurt him, and he wasn't trying to hurt her. They were just tired, worn down. Two people carrying too much in silence, speaking through sarcasm and assumptions instead of truth. The next day, they talked. Really talked. She apologized for shutting down. He shared that he wasn't doing okay either. They both listened. No defenses, no power plays, just honesty. She admitted she couldn't afford to take time off work. That hiring help wasn't an option. That her self-worth was so low, she defaulted to thinking she was the problem whenever things got tense. He knew that about her. He'd seen it before. And in that moment, they found each other again, not as patient and caregiver, not as broken and overworked, but as two people who love each other, even in the middle of the mess. They didn't fix everything in one conversation, but they remembered they were on the same team. And sometimes, that's everything. So, am I the asshole for joking that I wanted a week to myself? Or am I just human? This story isn't about chips, or jokes, or even sex. It's about what happens when pressure builds in silence. When the people who are supposed to lean on each other start pulling in opposite directions. It's about burnout, emotional, physical, spiritual, and how easy it is to miss the signs in the person lying right next to you. She needed rest. He needed reassurance. And they both needed to feel seen. There's something sacred in caregiving, but even saints get tired. Even warriors need a break. And sometimes, the most honest thing you can say isn't, "I'm fine." It's, "I need a week." So to everyone listening right now, when was the last time you checked in with your partner? Not about chores, or bills, or appointments, but about their heart. When was the last time you asked them what they need? And when was the last time you gave yourself permission to say you're not okay? Tell us in the comments. Have you ever said something half joking that turned out to be the truth? Did someone take it the wrong way? Or did it lead to the kind of conversation you never knew you needed? This is AITA Stories, where every story has two sides, and sometimes both of them are just doing the best they can.